Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Public Allies. I'm your host for today's business promotion, and my name is Aisha Sardar. Today, we have Neeru Padmanabhan, who is going to be talking about her financial services. Uh, so, Neeru, instead of going ahead and introducing you, why don't you introduce yourself today?
I must say, Aisha, this feels a little bit awkward. I am a financial professional as well as I am director of engagement at Public Allies. So we get the opportunity to not only work together at this forum, but we also work together to support South Asian women in different forms as well. We have a group for South Asian women. And in that, I get the opportunity to do and help people with their finances and get into better financial shape, as well help them with their mental health and their overall well-being. Because in a lot of cases, people don't realize, but your financial health sometimes impacts your mental health and it impacts your overall living and your mental capacity to handle things. If you're not financially free, you're not financially set. So it's always a pleasure to assist people in those matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to tell you, I'm so privileged to be working with you on Public Allies because, a lot of times we come across people who need help, especially financially, like financial assistance, to know more about how to deal with their finances. And you being there helps so much. I can't thank you enough because you give your free advice, you give your free services, and people on Public Allies are really thankful for that. So now tell
Definitely,
me,
it's my pleasure.
yeah. So now tell me, how did you come about being a financial professional? Because I know the story. I want others to know it too.
Yes, definitely. So I've been in mental health for about 16 years now. I started very young working with shelters, different mental health facilities, recovery centers, battered women programming, and other types of support programming with immigrants, refugees, and individuals of all walks of life. And one of the things that I found is regular people on my caseload. It's the majority of my caseload at a lot of points with seniors. It's because a lot of people don't know how to save for their future. They don't know what to do. And a lot of times people think, and this is a reality, that the government's going to take care of them. Although as Canadians, we have a great social safety net, but the truth is, it doesn't cover everything. There is some gray areas and it doesn't cover a lot. So all of a sudden, somebody retires and they go from $50,000 of income down to about 12 or even $8,000 of income to live on per year. They're not able to comprehend that. You're not able to change your lifestyle that quickly. And it only takes one or two things, one or two tragedies, one or two bad things to happen in life, then people end up in bad situations. So what I did is I got licensed, I got trained, and I became a financial professional. And my motto is the same as my company's: no family left behind. And it is one of my goals to help people get into better financial shape and to feel confident about their financial future.
Oh my God, I have not heard a lot of people change their profession because they want to help people out like that.
Every time I say it, Aisha says that. So it's a reality for me. And
Yeah.
I truly believe in that, and the opportunity to do webinars, roundtable discussions, and help out our clientele with just education. And that's mostly what I do is education. Oftentimes, you all you have to do is make a few small tweaks to what you're doing. And a lot of people just need to seek out that information from a proper individual, proper professional, and then they can move forward. It's sometimes it's just small strategies here and there that can maximize your ability to move forward and live a better life.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And many people, they're so scared of financials and financial services. They don't realize saving becomes a big part of their earnings. Like, I have grown up listening to, our parents and my family saying your savings should be half of your earnings. That might not be possible, but at least there should be some savings there, right? So how do you suggest people save, like the little things? How can they start by putting aside small money? What do you suggest?
So first thing I always start with, and people laugh when I say this, is to set your goals, to know where that money is going, why you're saving it, and what age do you actually want to stop working or decrease your work. So if you don't know numbers like that, that's where you start. And the second piece to that is developing a habit of saving. So say for example, your paycheck comes in and $25 automatically on that day comes out. Then it's really about those micro things that have to do with your goals and your plans to cater with what you need. And most people they look at their plan as if it's a one size fits all. It actually isn't. If it's $25 for you, it's $25 for you. If it's, $75 for somebody else, it's $75 for somebody else, and so on and so forth. So you have to live within your means, and you have to do a cash flow analysis. I sit down with so many people and they have no idea about what their budget is and how much they're actually spending. And once you do that, oftentimes you can figure out a lot of stuff and you can have a lot of breakthroughs with them. So sitting down with a professional is something I definitely recommend. It definitely helped me when I was looking into going into the financial field. And when I sat down and finally did that financial session, I was like, I need to do this so I can help other people. So that was it for me. But that's what I suggest. Small incremental habits of saving and down to your goals, and look at your cash flow. That's where it all starts.
Yeah. And many a times it also happens because we work with so many people. We come across people who don't even know that mat- government matches for their savings. So can you tell us about those things, like where government matches happen?
Yes, of course. There's two particular programs that I want to talk about is Registered Education Savings Plans, RESPs, and RDSPs, which is Registered Disability Savings Plans. Both plans are distinctly different. So Registered Education Savings Plans are for families who have children and they want to save for their children's education, and they can get up to $7,800 from the government in grants that they meet when they put in a little bit of money. So a professional will sit down, help you set up account. And a lot of people don't understand they're actually investments. So they're not just saving money, but they're actually compounding interest based on
Yeah.
what you put them in. So a lot of people don't understand that concept, and it's not really explained really well to them. There's not a lot of options. So you really have to understand how you can maximize that money. So if a family has 25 to $50 per budget, you can save. It doesn't have to be a full, 30, $40,000 that you can save, or $50,000. It can be any amount that you want to save for your children. But if it starts small, and you get access to grants like the Canada Learning Bond for lower income families. So all you have to do is open that account. If you open that account, you're able to save for your children for lower income families. And for families from the age of 40 up to 49, pardon me, there's registered disability savings plan where you're able to get up to $90,000 in government matches you know, in government matches for an individual who has a disability. You have to do certain things to qualify for the disability. You have to do some medical forms, but it's not that difficult. And it's a great process for children who have autism, children that have disabilities. In their years when you pass away as their parent or their caregiver, who's going to take care of them? And that was one of the things that used to happen on my caseload. Parents would pass away and children would end up on the system. They never got properly diagnosed, but you knew there was an intellectual disability there. You knew that there was a learning disability. And oftentimes those individuals fall through the cracks. So somebody would bring them into the shelter, and we would find out at age 55, 60, and 65 that they would have a disability. but nothing was put in place. They didn't know where the family's finances are. So they basically went onto the system, and later on you might find a trustee that has something put in place, but there was no plans made with a financial planner in case I die. This is what you're supposed to do with that money for my child. So the trustee, this will system, something wasn't set up to do that follow up, and that's why you need a financial professional to help you access those grants in the future when you have registered disability savings plans. So there's, it gets very intricate, but it also gives you so much fuel for the future. So that's it. Sorry, a little bit long-winded, but I get so passionate about it.
No, believe me, I understand, because when you sit with a financial expert and talk about your finances, you realize where you're not saying saving and where the expenses have been like extensive. You don't even realize the bills that are coming in, whether you actually need those. And progressively, like, they go on increasing progressively, and you don't even realize why they have increased. You're not using any extra services, like for example, your phone bills. You don't even know what is added. After a point, you just forget them. So sitting with a financial expert, it helps you come down to all those nitty gritties, right? So I agree with you, Neru. You know it. I am a complete financial services person. I can sit with you and I can talk about it the whole day.
Yeah,
So
we break it down often, but yeah, it's true. I had a lady that found she had credit card insurance, which is not the best type of insurance to have, and it's very expensive. It often
yeah,
isn't paid the best out. And we found out that she had it on her credit card and she was paying $30 a month on it. Can you imagine saving $30 per month? For her, that was incremental because there was a credit card debt. Now she can actually put that towards the principal amount instead of it being charged. So it's just a matter of looking sometimes.
yeah. And there are so many investments you don't even know about. You feel like, where can I invest $25? But there are places where you can invest
Yeah.
those.
So I sit down with a lot of individuals and they're used to doing, tax-free savings accounts, and they think they can only get high interest. High interest in Canada is relatively like 1%.
Yeah.
And a lot of immigrants get mistaken with that, I find, because in their countries, especially like, for example, India, uh, their GICs, guaranteed income certificates, their high interest accounts earn about like 5 to 6%, but their inflation is about 20%. So those are two connected points. But in Canada, our inflation is lower, so the interest rates are lower. So we're not collecting as much on certain types of products, but investments can collect a lot of money. You just have to be put into the right products. And that's where I love working with a brokerage, because you get to bring high net worth solutions and products to regular people like you and I that are, that are living a regular life. And, one day we might reach the 1%, but not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the solutions are really for everybody. So it's there to get you to a better place in your life and
Yeah.
leave a family legacy.
Absolutely. And another myth that you have to break is talking to a financial expert doesn't cost anything. It is free.
So some professionals do charge. However, professionals like myself that are independent contractors working with brokerages, I don't charge. We sit down, we make a full plan about how your finances are working, what your retirement numbers are going to look like, and then we go ahead and we move forward with any holes in your boat based on what your goals are for the future. So for example, if you want to save for your children, I'm going to recommend registered education savings plans. If you want to make sure that your family's safe and secure, I'm going to say, hey, have some insurance. And most Canadians, 55% of Canadians don't have any type of insurance. And another really big myth is that if I talk to a financial professional, it's going to affect my credit score. And that is not true. You have to approve for somebody to affect your credit score. We can't look that up, and no financial professional without your permission or reason should be looking it up. That's only when you do certain types of things and certain transactions, and all the pieces should be set aside. And I sit down with so many people who don't know what's going on in their financial situation. A financial professional that you're working with should sit down with you at least once a year, if not more, to guide you and let you know how you're performing, how things are looking, um, and everything that goes around with that.
Yeah, I clearly see you're passionate about it, passionate about helping people. And I know that too. So, anything else you want to add?
I'm just gonna tell everybody to at least get a financial check. I'm just sitting down with so many people, and it's just like one or two things to maximize their plan. And you're saving an extra few $100s per month, and not month, but year maybe. And it just helps you maximize and get ahead. So why not? If you could save a few $100s, if you can find out a new strategy, why wouldn't you want to sit down and find it out and invest in yourself, invest in your family's future? Start young. The younger you start, the better it is, but there's no time like today. Start as soon as you can. But if you are very young, like 20, 22, it's just amazing how money can compound.
Yeah.
That's all.
And and I also want to add one more thing, because I was just thinking, people get into debts and they don't know how to get out of it. So again, financial experts, sitting with them, talking to them, and getting a plan in place always helps, right?
Yeah. Debt, with debt, I'm sitting down with so many people who have credit cards, they have lines of credit, but a lot of people don't pay attention to the interest. It's really what the interest is adding up to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people complain about student loan debt. Student loan debt is not the worst debt to have.
Yeah.
And when you sit down with me, I'll explain why.
Okay, so if they have to reach you, we have given your details in there, or you just have to come to Public Allies, leave a comment saying, Neeru, can you please contact us?
Mhm.
Right? Or is there a way they can contact you, Neeru? Go ahead,
They
tell
can
them.
contact me any one of my social medias, LinkedIn. Uh, I have people contact me on Instagram as well as my Facebook, my email, and Public Allies. I love when I get contacted on Public Allies because it shows that people are tuning into what we're doing. And they're tuning into not only the financial pieces that we're teaching, but also the social services piece that we're teaching and we're assisting people with. So it's an all around way to help individuals move forward in their future.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know you always, you're the host all the time. So this time coming on the platform and doing the business promotion because you don't like doing it, but still, thank you for coming and spending this time. I love interviewing you because you know exactly what needs to be said, and it comes from your heart. So thank you so much.
Thank
You
you
want to?
for having me, Aisha, and thank you for always doing such amazing work in our community and helping individuals no matter what place they are. Aisha is an MBA as well as a psychologist, and she uses all of her great powers and knowledge to assist individuals to help move forward. So, thank you so much for all of the things that you do.
Oh, thank you. And for everybody else, that's it from us for today. We'll be back on Thursday with a real estate webinar with our very own Swapnachari. Take care and have a good evening.